I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
This is Fish Jelly.
That's right.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're recording this on May 29th. So I have to say happy birthday to Toya Jackson and her sister Rebbie.
Oh.
Toya is 70 today and her sister Rebbie is 76.
Hmm.
And we know a couple of weeks ago Janet turned 60. So happy birthday to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for people who aren't aware, Nick's video for his best and worst of Can is up on our YouTube channel.
That's your way of saying I'm not talking about it anymore.
Done. Don't ask me.
Damn.
Or ask him directly. Did you see Madonna did an interview with Grindr for her Confessions promo?
I did see that advertised, but I did not listen.
So she said the best FUCK of her life was JFK Jr.
Okay. Well, I mean,
A girl could do worse. No, he's very handsome. I think he was voted sexiest man alive.
what was that right before he died?
Yeah, with People magazine. He is a very handsome man. And
Yes.
I was reading a separate publication saying that someone who knew him confirmed that they did have a tryst. Not that he said he was the best sex of her life, but that this friend knew that JFK Jr. had a short-lived whirlwind romance with Madonna. And this source said they only had sex once.
Oh.
Which I find so funny. Like, I mean, I guess if my friend had sex with Ricky Martin, that would be a sex partner I would remember.
Right.
Like, oh, you had sex with the most famous woman in the world? Yeah, I guess I'd remember that 30 years later. But
Was this before Carolyn Bessette?
oh, let's hope not. Let's have it be real messy.
Well, it doesn't matter to her now either.
At first, when I heard this clip, I thought, oh, that's kind of messy. But then I thought that's kind of what Madonna was known for.
Yes.
Earlier on was being kind of
Kissing and telling.
right. And then there's that interview with Linda Perry
Mm-hmm.
where she talks about how Madonna needs to get back to who she is and stop trying to keep up with these young girls.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember a sequence with a banana. So
what?
in Truth or Dare. So I don't think it matters. Well, I mean, I guess it's a big F you to Guy Ritchie.
Anyway, moving on to the restaurant section. We tried Salty Girl for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy because we've driven by it a million times. I used to work basically next door.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we intended to go to the butcher, the baker, the cappuccino maker.
But hour-long waits are not.
That lady had the nerve to look me dead in my eyes and tell me a table for two would be an hour 45.
That's not my DNA. I'm just gonna. Nope.
But she's like, if you can find a seat at the bar, you can eat there. And so we walked into the bar area.
I'm not hovering like a doo-doo fly.
Right. Like, so we just moved my car to the parking lot across the street, which is where Salty Girl is.
Mhm.
I have been to the butcher, the baker, the cappuccino maker, and it is cute. And I do think we should go, but we'd have to go early. So who knows when that would ever happen. But Salty Girl, what did you think?
Well, first of all, I'm surprised you elected to go because it's a seafood restaurant.
Well, I've learned that there's usually something there that I would like.
Mm-hmm. For those that aren't inclined for the fruit de mer.
At nicer seafood restaurants.
Yeah.
There will always be something that isn't seafood. And it's not that I'm opposed to seafood, but
Considering it is an elevated seafood restaurant, the prices weren't terrible. I mean, I love lobster rolls. It just hurts my heart to pay $45 for a lobster roll. I don't know.
But that's not what you ordered. You ordered fried lobster and waffle.
I got yeah.
And which I was excited for you to order.
And with spicy maple syrup. But the thing is, even when I eat chicken with waffles, I eat the shit separate.
I think, who's eating them?
You can. I mean,
if my sister's listening, she will laugh because we had an uncle on my dad's side who, and I think he might have died from diabetes, but he was very thin. But this man put syrup on everything.
Like
everything.
Like an elf.
Yes, like an elf. So I'm sure that his black ass would have just put syrup all over that fried chicken and just cut it up with the waffle and eaten it. But I always separate them.
But yes, the lobster was quite delicious.
And were you happy with the portion?
Yeah, I didn't eat more, and actually, that did wreak havoc on my guts later that day. But
Oh, you did have an upset stomach?
well, I hadn't eaten anything that heavy in 2 weeks, so maybe that was why.
How much was that plate? Like 45?
No, oh no, I think it was like 36. Still
Oh,
too expensive.
I mean,
but-
that is a lot of money. And I'm not pretending, but yeah, less than I thought. Because this is kind of a fancier as in it's in a trendy area.
I did want to try that egg on egg omelet because it was like eggs and caviar.
Oh, that's right.
Chicken and fish babies. I've never had caviar, and I feel like I'm afraid to order something, and I despise it. So I feel like I need a
The best way for you to have it would be like how
On a
you
yacht.
described, like the dish with it on the eggs, or we should just go to Bristol Farms and get you a little container. You would like it, but if I put it on something and you didn't know, you wouldn't know that that's what it is.
like a good pate. I like a good pate if I can't tell it's liver, but if I taste that liver smell, no, don't want it.
It's more salty than fishy.
But I don't like anchovies.
Well,
Is it salty like that?
it's different because it's not as. It depends how much you put on it. When you get it on like the eggs, I'm sure it's sparingly applied. Like they're not putting
Right.
like an ounce of caviar.
That's what the beluga caviar.
Yeah, but the next time I think about it, I'm just gonna pick you up some caviar and some crackers, and
So you can shut up about
so
it.
you can stop saying you've never had caviar.
You won't let me.
Make it sound poor. Anyway, I ordered steak and eggs, so very basic. But I ordered this corn cake pancake.
Yeah.
Or cornmeal pancake with a lot of butter and a lot of syrup, and it was quite good.
That was also good. Yeah, it was heart attack season.
I would go there again.
Yeah.
If we can't get into the butcher, the baker, and the cappuccino
That's
maker.
the thing about LA. There's so many decent, at least, restaurants. Why? Oh, why? Why would you wait? You could walk a block down and have something great.
Yeah, but that's LA though. Like people, there's an Instagram page I followed that is specifically like, here's what people are lined up for today in LA.
Great. I love that. That's cute for all of you that have that much time to waste. Not me. No.
Yeah, I would never. But films released we didn't cover. The Breadwinner.
This is a comedy, a family comedy directed by Eric Apple, and Mandy Moore and Colin Jost have roles in it. But it's about
Mandy Moore. Speaking of her, continue. I'm sorry. Let me look it up.
I think is Mandy Moore the super mom? She lands like a Shark Tank kind of deal, and then ends up being, as the title suggests, the breadwinner, and of course, upending gender expectations.
Mandy Moore did an interview, I'm assuming related to this movie, where she revealed she said that another child actor got her into underage drinking.
Oh, who? An Olsen?
No.
A Culkin?
Yes.
Which one? Kieran?
They've been in a movie together.
Macaulay?
Yes. Which movie?
Saved.
Yes.
Yeah.
She said that while filming the 2014 comedy Saved, Macaulay got her into underage drinking.
But he was older than her, wasn't he?
Is he older than her?
Oh, Macaulay.
Probably a little bit.
Well,
right?
he had some rough years.
Well,
and
hey.
A Drink to Remember. I've never seen A Walk to Remember, by the way.
Next is Pressure.
This is about the days leading up to D-Day, directed by Anthony Maris, and Andrew Scott is technically the star, but Brendan Fraser is Dwight, aka Ike Eisenhower. Sounds a little dry.
The Currents.
The Currents is this interesting sounding indie film directed by Milagros Mumenthaler, and it's about a woman on a business trip to Geneva, and she makes some kind of weird decision that has perilous consequences, and she's from Argentina, and a dark past resurfaces. But I like some of the pull quotes I read about it.
The Last Viking.
I saw this at Venice last year for Mads Mikkelsen, and I also like Nikolai Lee Kaas and the director-writer Anders Thomas Jensen. Sometimes I'm on his wavelength. Like I like the film Men and Chicken. I think I showed you that about a decade ago with Mads Mikkelsen.
Is that the one where they have that lamp? Oh no, that's the Sigourney movie. Yes, I remember Man and Chicken.
Well, because it's like those brothers stuck on an island and they've been mating with the animals. So they're all,
yes,
because Mads Mikkelsen is like half bull or something. Anyway, creepy and weird, but a comedy. Denmark. And this is about bank robber released from jail, and he has to go visit his brother, Mads Mikkelsen, who has mental health or memory issues, but he's the only one that technically knows where the loot is hidden. I guess I was in the minority because I was bitching about this on the Lido last year, and then a bunch of people were like, but I liked it. So, to each their own.
Pitfall,
directed by James Kondelik, which stars Richard Harmon. And it's, I think, about a serial killer that traps people in some kind of large hole with spikes. And I think the serial killer is played by Randy Couture.
Propeller, One-Way Night Coach.
This is John Travolta's directorial debut, I believe, that just premiered at Cannes. I did not see it. And it's about the golden days of aviation,
which we still may review.
Yes, I don't see it in my Apple screening room yet, and I don't want to pay for it. But I would be interested in seeing, what Mr. Travolta has come up with for himself.
Lastly, Renoir.
I saw this at Cannes in 2025, directed by Chi Hayakawa. It's set in 1987 Tokyo, about an 11-year-old girl and having a lot of family issues. And I remember thinking it was fine and lovely.
Projects of interest, Maniac Cop.
Now, if you listen to our Cannes rundown, I'm over Nicholas Winding Refn. I loathed his last film, Her Private Hell, that was just screened at Cannes. Anyhow, I guess I'm interested in what he does with a remake of Maniac Cop.
Didn't we review Maniac Cop 2?
Yes, we did. And I've been making Robert Zadar jokes lately.
Related to?
A drag queen.
Oh, a certain show. We shouldn't say it.
We will just leave it at that.
Leave the children to guess. It's transphobic.
No,
but you might be able to put 2 and 2 together.
It's the shape of a face is not gendered. Okay.
Well, tell that to the people who get FFS surgery.
Well, not innately.
Or I guess FFS is.
That is our cultural construct of what a feminine face is supposed to look like. Anyway.
Tortures of the Damned.
Damien Leone, the Terrifier dude, he's moving on to Greener Pastures, his new project, which kept under wraps so far. I'm curious to see what he will do outside of the nonsense realm of Heart the Clown.
Angel Heart.
Okay, I usually don't put television or series in projects of interest because, I'm just a purist like that. But Zac Efron is attached to star in a series remake of Angel Heart.
The Lisa Bonet movie?
Yeah, with De Niro and Mickey Rourke.
Oh, we reviewed that as well.
Yeah, Patreon review, I believe.
Oh.
I like Angel Heart. I think it's dark and depressing and all the things I like.
Lastly, Driver.
Nia DaCosta is doing a genre action film with Mahershala Ali, who's playing, I think he's playing a Nigerian smuggler, and that's all I know. But I'm glad to see that she is keeping them coming.
This past week, we were very busy on Patreon.
Yes.
We have reviews for Natural Born Killers, the Oliver Stone family film, yes. Election, the political satire starring Reese Witherspoon and my friend Matthew Broderick.
Oh, yes.
Cool World, which relates to today's secret film, starring Bradley Pitt and Kimberly Basinger.
And Gabriel Byrne.
And we can't forget your mom's crush, Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah, she was so unlike most of the other men she was fawning over, who usually were very hirsute and rugged. And there's kind of a decadent elegance about Mr. Byrne.
Decadent elegance. Okay. We also reviewed Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, which is not a documentary about Nirvana, I found out.
Not the Kurt Cobain iconic. Yes, no.
And we also did a review for Bigger Than Life, a 1950s film that I gave 5 stars to, so people can give us money to listen to those.
Starring James Mason.
Unfortunately, there is an entry in the obituary section.
There's been death this week.
Clarence B. Jones died. He was an American lawyer, writer, probably best known as a close friend and confidant to Martin Luther King Jr., but he wrote many books. He was a scholar. He helped write a draft of the I Have a Dream speech MLK delivered. He was 95 years old. The secret film this week was my choice, and I chose the 1975 satirical film Coonskin, written and directed by Ralph Bakshi. What is it about? Rabbit, a country-born trickster, takes over the organized crime racket in Harlem, facing opposition from the institutionalized racism of the mafia and corrupt police. Why did I choose this film? The name. No. Well, it is partly the name. When I heard that someone made a movie called Coonskin, I had to check it out. But Ralph Bakshi is the director of Cool World.
And that was his last film. Yep.
And I was disappointed with Cool World, although that shouldn't deter people from listening to the review. I think it's a fun review. But I was disappointed, particularly because there are glimpses of really fun ideas.
Right.
And when you told me about Coonskin and I looked it up, I thought, oh, this is the ticket. This is where we're going to get what we need. And I'm happy to report that this movie delivers.
Yes, I think this is rightly a masterpiece. I've been aware of it for a while. And the film that it's really kind of shitting all over or trying to skewer, I've also never seen, Song of the South from the 40s. So, I think it's making it's taking back the night. It's being a subversive take on that, or Uncle Remus, if those caricatures, those stereotype caricatures.
This film is animated and is considered one of the most controversial animated films ever made. To call it surreal is accurate. It's a mix of live action, animation. It's certainly a blaxploitation film, but a very effective satire with very effective social commentary weaved in. I would also call it a dark comedy.
Yeah, I laughed a lot.
I'm sure it's so interesting to talk about this film because I imagine the way people felt about it in 1975 versus how people might look at it today. And then depending on who you are today, you might feel a way. I think that it works very well as an anti-racist satire.
I agree.
The imagery can be overwhelming, but I think the filmmaker and animator made a smart choice because there is, I guess a criticism would be that there's this element of blackface, but the characters aren't necessarily human, like the main three.
Right.
So, and we'll get to it, but yeah, I think it works very well.
It works in a way that I wanted something like The Spook Who Sat by the Door to work.
And you referenced Uncle Remus, which I'm familiar with from my dad talking about it, but it sort of reimagines the Briar Rabbit folktales, but puts them in 1970s Harlem. So it is an absurd crime drama. But yeah, I think it works well. It uses a lot of, admittedly offensive stereotypes, but with the intention to expose these stereotypes, not celebrate them, certainly.
Exactly. Yeah. It's subverting all of that.
And I think that's probably where a lot of the controversy comes from. So I was reading about Ralph Bakshi.
He's born in Palestine, right?
Born in Palestine, but his parents are Jewish and they moved to Brooklyn. And ultimately he grew up in DC in a black neighborhood, and his parents owned a store. So he said he was constantly surrounded by black people, went to school, black people, lived next door to black people, black girls would sit on his lap. So he has some adjacency to it.
I would assume that based on someone behind this film that is white.
Because of course, whenever a story is told about a very specific group and it's not created by a member of that group, the eyebrow that doesn't have too much Botox goes up a little bit. So it's like, yeah, reading about him, I felt like his intention was solid.
I agree. And I mean, he'd already had several films. I think Fritz the Cat, he's also really well known for, was before this film from 1972. I mean, he's known as the godfather of adult animation, which is why I think the travesty of Cool World being taken out of his hands and cut down to PG-13, was kind of sacrilegious for him. He also has a really great Lord of the Rings animated version from 1978, Fire and Ice, Wizards. I mean, he had a really fantastic run.
Okay, Coonskin has some really cool people in it. Barry White, Scatman Crothers.
Love Scatman Crothers.
Charles, you like a leg of lamb?
You like a leg of lamb? You don't? Charles Gordone, who's the first black man that won a Pulitzer for drama.
And of course, Philip Michael Thomas, who we all know from Miami Vice.
Yes.
So the story. The film opens in live action, and we see Randy, Philip Michael Thomas's character, trying to escape prison.
Mm-hmm.
And two of his buddies are set to like meet him outside and take him away. And as they show up, a standoff ensues with the correctional officers.
Mm-hmm.
So Randy's kind of delayed in hiding, waiting for his time to run out and get away. And while he's hiding, he's next to this other man, Pappy, played by Scatman Crothers,
Mm-hmm.
who is also trying to escape. So while they're waiting for the time to run out, Pappy starts talking, and he relays a story about three people who he thinks are similar to Randy and his two friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the film switches to animation. So these three characters are anthropomorphic, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a rabbit, a bear, and a fox.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, Philip Michael Thomas's character, is rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Bear is Barry White.
Mm-hmm.
And fox is Charles Gordone.
Preacher Fox.
So the animated story is basically these three, rabbit, bear, fox, leave the southern states to go to Harlem to make a better life for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately they come in contact with this con man called Simple Savior. And he's this big, he kind of reminded me of he actually reminded me of Barry White.
Sure. Or
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from okay to very high. Know your sleep score with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
or what's the Oogie Boogie Man? Even a
Oh,
little
yes,
bit
that's even a better
from
reference.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
He's fully naked. You see his little dingle dangle. He is a sort of self-proclaimed revolutionary leader who says he's the cousin of Black Jesus and is telling all of his congregation that he can give them the power to kill any white person they want,
Mm-hmm.
as long as they sow into his little nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get this display of him showing representations of the Black oppressors. And those representations are John Wayne, Elvis Presley, and Richard Nixon.
All pretty good people to skewer. John Wayne, we'll get to it in a bit with another character, is made fun of in another way too.
But Rabbit sees right through all this bullshit
Mm-hmm.
and gets the crowd riled up against Simple Savior. So of course Simple Savior is upset, wants to kill Rabbit, but ultimately Rabbit, with the help of Bear, kill Simple Savior.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Rabbit's entryway into organized crime, because now he's sort of taken over Simple Savior's flock.
Right. The Don is dead. Yep.
So now that he's a part of organized crime, he has to deal with his first enemy, and that person is Manigan. And Manigan is a super racist, homophobic, corrupt police officer who works for the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get to all the little details, but he's hired by the mafia to kill Rabbit. So he goes down to where he thinks Rabbit is, this black strip club. But unfortunately for Manigan, one of the strippers or bartenders there drugs his drink.
Mm-hmm.
And this scene, we were talking earlier, but I feel like this scene is iconic to me.
It is.
And I'm surprised I've never heard of this, because when people talk about Deliverance and the Squeal Like a Pig scene, or Pulp Fiction and the Gimp scene, I mean, I'm sure you could think of others. I don't know why no one ever talks about this scene, because this shit is crazy.
It's profoundly disturbing and also kind of a
Cathartic.
Cathartic and a poetic visualization of insanity.
So what is the scene? This virulent, racist, homophobic, corrupt cop.
He hates black people so much that he does not bathe on the days that he knows he has to go deal with them.
It's crazy.
It's depraved.
Because he looks like he's never bathed to begin with. So you have to be real racist to be like, they're going to get an extra scoop of nasty. because I hate them so
we
much.
see him waking up shooting rats next to where he's sleeping.
Okay, so the scene, he's been drugged, and keeping in mind that everyone knows he is this racist homophobe, he is put into blackface, dressed up as a woman, specifically a mammy. They use watermelons for
her breasts, yeah.
And force him to have sex with an effeminate gay white man.
Yes. So they're,
but it's like psychedelic in a way.
I think they're, one, it's emasculating this person, and also I think tapping into what maybe he's really desiring.
Well, yeah, that would be another layer.
Mm-hmm.
Once he comes to and realizes what has happened, that he's in blackface, he's wearing a dress, he's had sex with a man, he loses it. It's also important to know that he brought 2 little henchmen with him to help.
Mm-hmm.
So once he realizes what happens, he runs out of the club into the alley, sees his 2 helpers have been shot dead, and he goes crazy. He starts shooting randomly and hits a police officer.
Which I believe is voiced by the director of the police with the megaphone.
So, of course, that creates a shootout where Mannigan is killed.
Mm-hmm.
So then we move on to the big boss, the Godfather. And this character was crazy to me. First of all, the way the Godfather is drawn, he looks like a white man's scrotum.
Yeah, well.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like an old white man's scrotum.
With liver spots on it.
Oh, my God.
He's just, and he has like spiked teeth and these little red eyes. He almost looks like in Spaceballs, Pizza the Hut.
Yes.
He looks terrible.
So, of course, the Godfather now is on a mission to kill Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
The Godfather has multiple sons, and this family is crazy because I think there are 4 sons. Let's say there are 4 sons.
There are 4 that are, let's say, non-binary.
Well, 3 of them are clearly gay,
Uh-huh.
and then 1 is not. The one who's not is Sonny.
Yes.
So Sonny is the first one to be sent to kill Rabbit, and Sonny gets done up.
Mm-hmm. Sonny is also the name of James Caan's character in The Godfather. Yeah.
Sonny's cremains are sent back to his family, and the mother, the Godfather's wife, loses it. Also, she looked like, you know what? I wrote down she looked like that sticky rice Clark pulls out of people's bodies in the back rooms. Or actually, the man in the back rooms who Clark pulls the sticky rice out of, she looked like that man.
Yeah, she looked like a big bow or a white Ursula a little bit.
You mean like barbecue pork bow from
the outside.
ILX dim sum? Or...
the outside. She looked like a puffy cloud. But that is also a scene, her demise, I also was kind of arrested by.
Well, let's explain it. So she is very upset once her dead son Sonny's cremains are delivered,
which are thrown off of the subway in a big coffin, and 2 of Sonny's other brothers,
the gay ones,
who are like in full, they're all in. We only ever see them.
They're cross
fully beat.
Yeah,
and they open that and sneeze into his.
So now his ashes are floating around and everyone's sneezing.
The mother's trying to catch the ashes.
And she gets upset and blames the dad, the Godfather.
As she should.
So she's going to shoot and kill him. And right before she can, one of the Godfather's, I guess, acolytes shoots the mom in her titty meat.
Yep.
She drops dead, and then she turns into...
She like transmogrifies into some kind of martyred angel creature.
Butterfly?
Yes, and then that skin suit crumples, that creation, and this big moth or butterfly flies out of it, and they're all trying to catch it, and her husband smashes her to bits, which I took as like metaphorically obliterating her soul. I found that very troubling.
Yeah. So we move on. During the melee, Bear was shot, but he's recovered. Rabbit is still a crime lord. And Fox has opened up a brothel of sorts.
That there are flyers for it that say legal like.
Yeah, it's like an ethical brothel, because basically what they're doing is these men come in to see a lady and they basically marry them for a night and then I guess annul the marriage in the morning.
And so Bear is looking for Fox and he finds that brothel and he knocks on the door, and this naked lady
named Pearl
No, not Pearl.
It's not Pearl.
This hefty naked lady comes out. She's like, "You're on the right place." And then they yank his clothes off and are dragging him around by his penis. It's
you see a lot of penis in this, like cartoon penis.
yes.
Ironically, because Simple Savior's penis compared to his size looks like a little baby penis.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the gay cross-dressing brothers who I was so disturbed by what I was seeing that I had to confirm with you that what I saw was correct. But two of the gay brothers, we find them having sex in Oscar the Grouch's trash can.
Yes, and they're being sought out after this other supporting character, this maniacal baby named Mario that talks in this.
Oh yeah, we have to mention Mario in a second.
Had me giggling.
But the one brother, when he gets out of the trash can because he's wearing a skirt, we see his penis, and it is the size of his arm.
Did you think of Alaska Thunderfuck for that character? Because I did.
Well, now I will. Okay, we're at the brothel. Bear finds a lady he likes, Pearl. They get married so they can legally have sex. But Bear decides to stay married to her.
Mm-hmm.
So we see them at this club having a gay old time. There's also an interesting scene because there are white people at the club. We get a scene where this white couple
Like
approaches,
in human form.
Yeah, in human form, approach cartoon Bear and Pearl, these two black characters, and basically tell them like, we're so happy you're here. We know things have been segregated, but we've always wanted to be around black people. And we love how you guys can dance. And
we love your clothes.
And we love how colorful you are. Like the one lady is like, I have to wear these bland colors. And it's like, do you? I mean, you can go buy some colors too.
That was sad.
But I felt that scene was very interesting because I'm sure many black people can relate to white people being fascinated by them and wanting to ask questions about.
I go out to the bar. I hear people say dumb shit like this still.
People to this day say and do crazy shit to me because they're just fascinated and they have access to a brown person.
Like, okay.
Usually it's about my hair and how I smell. Like they're surprised that I smell nice. It's very strange. But anyway, Bear is at a crossroads because he wants to get out of the crime game. Mm-hmm. And he mentions like, well, maybe I can box. And that's where that little thing comes in. What's his name? Mario, who looks like a baby court jester who can fly.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, he's like a little troll, like a leprechaun.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, a boxer, you say? Well, with a bad Italian accent. I can help you box. Like the mafia, we have boxing matches. You'd be a big star. Like, let's do it.
Well, they're doing that because
they want access.
The Godfather wants access to Rabbit to kill him. And because Fox owns this brothel, he has to pay kickbacks to the mob. And they decide to, the Godfather tells Fox, keep your kickback, but give me a meeting with Rabbit. And at this point of the narrative, Fox can't get near Rabbit. Like he's chosen a side kind of, but he's like, I can get you to Bear and Bear can get you to Rabbit.
So we have this boxing match. We'll get back to how the film looks, but I think it's really impressive. And the blend of live action with animation, I think looks way cooler than Cool World, which is 20 years later.
Yeah, I agree.
But the boxing match is mostly live action. But we see that Rabbit, being a smart one, knows that if he's there, they're going to go after him. So he creates a lifelike dummy of himself that he's made of something very sticky. And
tar. I think it's tar.
And places it in the audience. Mm-hmm. So when the mafia people come to kill him, they go to stab who they think is him, but they get stuck because it's basically tar.
Yeah, they get all rolled up in a ball they call a tar baby.
So they fall into the trap, and Rabbit has left a bomb next to the doll. So Bear, Fox, and Rabbit are able to leave the arena before it explodes. Mm-hmm. So they're free to, like, I guess, run Harlem now. The story ends with, we go back to live action Randy and Pappy.
Because the story that Pappy's been telling has ended.
Right. So the entire movie is basically him telling the story while they're waiting to escape the prison. Mm-hmm. So we go back to Philip Michael Thomas and Scatman Crothers. It's time to make a break for it. They start running. A couple of them get shot. I know Scatman gets shot in the leg and Bear gets shot somewhere.
Yeah, he gets shot in the chest, it looks like.
But we do see all of them leave in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And the final scene is ambiguous because we see a man.
It's Preacher Man.
But it wasn't clear to me
what
was happening. But you see a man holding a little kid walking.
And he says, I think he says something like, they're all waiting for you at home.
Yes. Well, let's talk about what the ending is supposed to mean.
Well, I think that they're all waiting for you at home, like just another day, another dollar, like nothing has changed.
Sure.
And what's home? What are you going home to? It just seems like the path that I feel like it's indicated that this little black boy set on is just going to be one of doom and misery potentially, but depending on what his options are and the guide that he has with him, because we see Preacher Man early on, and I think that little boy is in the church with a sibling talking about how they have to love him and not just God.
Speaking of that church, did that preacher not sound like Dave Chappelle to you?
Oh yeah, I think so.
For a minute, I was like, wait. I know it can't be Dave Chappelle because it's made in 1974, but
that's Charles Gordone, who also an interesting tidbit related to this podcast randomly, fortuitously, Charles Gordone was a minor role in Angel Heart.
Oh, before I get into the themes, let me go through some of my notes. In the opening, when we see the first cartoons, they're talking about how 350 people committed suicide by jumping off of the Golden Gate Bridge, but only 2 were black, and one of them was pushed off, which I thought was a powerful intro showing the resilience of black people in this country. And with everything stacked against you, you still persist. So I thought that was a really nice start.
Well, actually, back up. I loved the actual intro through the credits.
Yes. The actual intro is Scatman Crothers.
Scatman Crothers singing.
Yeah,
that was
he's
pretty
singing
good.
a song about like the black male experience in the United States. So a very heavy message in the opening that I think makes for a very good start. When they get to Harlem, one of them says Harlem is the pot of smack at the rainbow's end. So we already know that they think that this is going to be a hard way.
Yes.
Oh gosh, there is a scene that I thought was so good, and it feels kind of random, but we see this woman in her raggedy apartment with her baby.
Yeah,
telling the story of Malcolm the cockroach. And so at first I'm like, not this bitch talking about the roaches in her apartment, but you realize she's talking about a man who came into her life and how their relationship evolved.
It made me think of Loretta Devine in For Color Girls.
Yes. And then ultimately he leaves her, and then she talks about how a rat showed up after that, but she killed it because she knew better. I think that scene in isolation is kind of spectacular.
It is. Well, the rat with the yellow, didn't she say like his yellow smile? She smashed it. Like, oh. Which also made me think of Viola Davis and Oprah Winfrey talking about growing up, hearing the rats under the bed.
Yeah. God, that Simple Savior character being naked. And he's also dancing around, and he sounds like Mike Tyson.
That's also Scatman.
I know, but I don't think that I'm selling how weirdly odd this film looks and feels.
It's bonkers. But then it, like I said, it has these scenes that it's come to this zenith that is so sharp, and I, kind of at a loss for words at how disturbing it is in a way that only animated films can do sometimes.
So there's a character that is woven throughout the movie, and it's this big-breasted white blonde woman named Marigold. And I think she's supposed to represent America and what America does to black men. Because every scene she's in, she's seducing a black man who either ends up being hurt or killed.
You know what following that thread is really creepy is they're positioning America as basically one big siren, like from Greek mythology, that would sing men to allure them and then lead them to their deaths. And then add into that, the slave trade and these people that were taken from their homeland and brought here to still be annihilated. I mean, there are, significant layers to that.
The most memorable moment with Marigold, Miss America, to me, is she's seducing this black man, and she's sitting on what looks like a park bench,
Mhm.
and she spreads her legs,
Mhm.
and the man comes to her, and he's much smaller than her, so he's walking towards her, and his face is like basically in her crotch.
Mhm.
When she opens her legs, you hear a gunshot, and that man goes, "Ooh, she got the clap."
Ooh. Yes, America is diseased.
Okay, when you told me about this film, I immediately searched for it, saw that it was on YouTube. The full movie is on YouTube. I think you paid to watch it on Amazon, but it is free on YouTube.
Yeah, they don't blink out all the N-words.
But then they
on
don't.
Amazon.
Yeah, they show all the cartoon nudity, but they bleep out the N-word. So I guess if you want to hear the N-word, you can.
That is not why I chose to watch it on Amazon. I didn't know that they did that on YouTube.
But when I saw the movie on YouTube, I just kind of like randomly picked a spot within the video to see the quality.
Mm-hmm.
And the spot I picked was the scene where that racist, homophobic cop goes to a bar. And the bartender is this very obviously gay man who's cross-dressing. I guess by today's standards, we say it was they were a trans woman.
Back then, you'd say he was probably Nelly.
But ultra gay.
Mm-hmm.
And taunting this homophobic, corrupt cop.
Unapologetically gay. I described myself as that in The Devil Wears 2 review, and people didn't seem to like that.
It's very interesting for a 1970s film like this, for this character to be so and also the Godfather's sons, they're so like unabashedly queer. Now the representation, I'm sure many people would say, is negative, but I mean there are people who act like that, and I can name a couple if you like.
I was gonna say there's the way that people talk in the privacy of their own homes and shit. Like this is nothing new in this film. But the bartender, though, it's one perspective I'd say demeaning, but also not. He's empowering too. He is taunting this homophobic, racist cop and fighting back in his way.
Another memorable scene with Marigold is Scatman Crothers voices a number of characters, but there's a character he's voicing who is literally just standing next to Marigold.
Mm-hmm.
He's not interacting with her. He hasn't touched her. He's just talking like to the audience. And then when he's done talking, Marigold whispers, "Rape." And we see that black man get hung and killed.
Yep.
So that message is very clear. I cannot express how shocked I was when I realized that not only are there two men having sex in a trash can, but that they're brothers.
And they're so bitchy. I also think it's interesting after that because Mario is kind of saying, like, calling them losers and trash, and they dress up the one with the pink hair, the one that I thought looked like Alaska.
What's the little leprechaun's name who tries to get Bear to box?
Mario.
When Mario is talking to Bear, proposing that he become a boxer, Bear screams at him, "Stay out of my black life." And I thought, I need a t-shirt that says that.
But anyway,
I can't wait to say that to someone the next time they get in my business.
But that scene I was referencing, though, they dress him up in like a mafioso's outfit to go regulate in Harlem on behalf of the father, remember? And there's this emissary that I think it's this great big hulking black body without a head.
Oh, yes.
And those two brothers in drag, the gay ones, are taunting this figure, and that man punches him down to the ground.
Okay, themes. The first one, racism. Specifically, and I guess I'm speaking for the filmmaker, but how I interpreted this is this story and the visual that accompanies it is flooding us with this racist ass imagery.
Mm-hmm.
These minstrel show caricatures, blackface inspired designs, and just exaggerated cartoonish stereotypes of black people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you're upset about that, I find that interesting because not only do these images already exist in America at this time, but people were treated as such. So, I mean, this is an argument that's been going on for decades now. I mean, most recently, just with many different groups. I mean, the film Blue Film we reviewed that features two gay men and a child predator.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of comments that I deleted because people were just going on about how could we talk about
How could we talk about it?
How can we talk about it? You know, people are getting molested daily, hourly, all over. Maybe you were. Like, these are things that happen. Like, it's so weird to me to think like maybe that's part of the problem, is that people don't want to talk about real issues. Like, you need to confront these things,
talk about things,
not hide them,
without being hysterical. Like, Jesus.
So I think this film does a good job if that was the intention.
Mm-hmm. It was shot by a fantastic cinematographer, the live action scenes, William Fraker, by the way, who was the cinematographer on Bullet, the Peter Yates, Steve McQueen classic that has one of the best car chases in cinema history, Looking for Mr. Goodbar, the original The Killer Inside Me, which I think is really also a disturbing film. I mean, just Heaven Can Wait, a very interesting people behind the scenes here.
And you already mentioned Song of the South, which
I've
was
never
a
seen.
Disney film that was criticized heavily for its depiction of race. So I understand that this movie is sort of a response to that.
I have a copy of that on disc somewhere, but it's just that's one of those things I'm like, I'm just never in the mood.
And then, of course, Crime and Power. This film is directly parroting The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see how this is a critique of how we idolize mobsters. There's an entire generation of people who, you know, between Scarface, Goodfellas, and The Godfather, it's like their dogma.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this filmmaker was attacking that mythology.
Well, kind of showing that in this underworld, how everybody becomes reduced and kind of is forced to mutate into something undesirable.
It's interesting because what year did Cruising come out?
80.
And a lot of queer people were protesting that film before they had even seen it.
Right.
The same was for this film. The Congress of Racial Equality protested this film before it had been released. So there was picketing and demonstrations.
But I think a lot of Black filmmakers really have championed this film. I know Spike Lee being one of them.
Well, interestingly, the NAACP described it as a difficult satire, but supported its release. So, you know, as a Black person in 2026, I think this is an important movie. So, you know, but I can also see how
it's an uncomfortable one. Yeah.
How there were people and are people who would be uncomfortable with it.
But what's wrong with being uncomfortable? I mean, that's where conversation starts.
And then getting back to the cast, I mean, it is really cool. I mean, Barry White is a big deal.
Yeah.
And we have him not only voicing one of the cartoon characters, but he appears in the live action segments in the beginning and the end.
Samson. Mm-hmm.
Scatman Crothers, who I guess I'm so familiar with that it was exciting to see him. But he, you know, the top two names on the poster are Barry White and Scatman Crothers.
Scatman was all around in the 70s. I mean, he's got a supporting role off the top of my head, and I think it's Friday Foster. Opposite. You want to see Scatman with Eartha Kitt and Pam Grier, and I believe Yaphet Kotto. I mean, God, the cast. Yeah. It reminded me of this book from 1992 called Negrophobia. I don't know if you remember me reading that, which is kind of a crazy, also really raunchy text dealing with racism, but it's described as a Rocky Horror Negro show.
Oh my goodness.
We own it if you are interested, but I thought of that a couple times watching this.
Do you know what the original title for this movie was?
I don't.
Harlem Nights.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if that Eddie Murphy.
I mean, it's kind of generic because Harlem Nights is a movie set in Harlem.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that was.
So I don't think it's, but yeah, I mean, that's interesting. And this movie, I didn't even mention, upon like re-release, and they tried to change the name of the movie. I know at one point it was released as, oh God, what was it?
Like they changed the name of those Fred Williamson movies about the legend of N-word Charlie.
Right.
I mean, even the title alone, I'm sure that there are people that would avoid talking about the film just so they don't have to say that. So,
oh, that's right. I was reading that Shout Factory was going to release it in 2010, and they intended to do a reversible cover where the title Coonskin would also be available with another alternative title, Bustin' Out. But then that release was canceled because of issues with who actually owned it. But
interesting.
Bakshi hired Black animators and graffiti artists to work on the film. He also appears in the movie, I think you mentioned, as one of the white police officers with a megaphone. Speaking of the protesters, when Martin Scorsese was filming Taxi Driver, footage was captured near a theater showing Coonskin during protests around the movie.
Oh, interesting. I mean, certainly this is, miles away more. The word I keep coming to is subversive, just because you don't see anything like this anymore. But the shit that Hollywood was churning out, trying to be provocative about race, would be, instilling negative stereotypes like Mandingo, or we've had a copy of this sitting because it got a restoration re-release. Roger Ebert came out hard against it, but Goodbye Uncle Tom. I think it's an Italian exploitation film that's also, again, a lot of things trying to be provocative, but just don't have anything to say other than being also problematic or titillating.
I don't want to go over Cool World because we have a 40-minute review of Cool World on our Patreon that I recommend people listen to if they listen to this one. But I will say my disappointment with Cool World was that you see glimpses of more subversive avenues the filmmaker wanted to take, and we talk about the production history and how the studio softened it, but watching Coonskin and seeing what Bakshi is capable of, it's like Cool World is even more disappointing to me now.
Right.
But not because of him, but because of how he was stifled.
Right.
Yeah, this movie, Coonskin, goes there in every way possible, but it's still coherent and entertaining. Maybe entertaining is not the best word, but engaging.
Well, yeah, it's provocative. Here's a better word, seditious. And it, again, I remarked earlier that I laughed a lot, but also because I think I'm not used to seeing things so in your face anymore either. But there are moments that there's a bit of it that's really sad and depressing too.
Yeah. What would you give Coonskin?
I gave it 5.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is the kind of shit that I want to see. I want people pushing the boundaries because that's the only way we're ever going to progress as a species.
Many people consider it a masterpiece, so 5 out of 5 makes sense to me. I was going to give it 4 out of 5. I think it's excellent. Not quite 5 for me, just because there were moments that felt like a little disjointed and I was a little confused. But even those moments in isolation work very well.
It felt to me a little bit like hell,
Sure.
And I guess I am also secretly attracted to things that make me feel that way. Anyway.
Oh, is that why we're still together?
Oh God, no shade.
Well, whether it's a 4 or a 5, I would say this is must see for people who like to be challenged with their cinema.
Mm-hmm. Very intellectual indeed.
What do we have coming next week? I know I've agreed to watch Stop That Train with RuPaul.
Oh, God.
And Scary Movie.
Yes.
And a shark movie called Chum.
Yes. And I think another Samara Weaving film with Kyle Gallner.
Only because he's my friend, but...
I thought you liked her too.
She's okay. I like Kyle Gallner more, but...
There's
if we have time.
A new Netflix JLo film. I'm sure that's going to be scintillating.
Because we also have many Patreons for June that I want to get ahead of.
Masters of the Universe. Did you say that already?
Wait, that's next week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so there's no time next week. Wait, is there a press screening for Masters of the Universe?
We'll talk about that offline.
Oh.
Also, I wasn't sure if you wanted to see that Nick Jonas, Paul Rudd movie either. I'd
rather see Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
If I had to choose between the two.
Sure.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Ta-ta.